Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Yo.
Yo, man. Yeah, I got to give the Big Ten all the credit in the world. Only they can release a basketball schedule and have no times.
I was going to say, I saw the basketball schedule released for both men's and women's, and I don't think any of these times, there's literally it's all TBA. Every single game is TBA. Like, I was trying to plan my schedule out of, okay, well, this game's on a Saturday. Is it going to be a night game, a noon game? Like, when's this game going to be? So I can figure out, like, travel and stuff for my own brain. Nope. No idea. Not a one. Not a wink, Steve Jones. Give us game times. At least estimate. Pick them.
Okay, I got the schedule more than a week ago. Okay, so I've had the schedule. With the idea, hey, look,
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody. Did I tell you?
You said you had it. You didn't tell me what was on it.
No, I did not tell you a single one.
Yes.
Okay? And because you asked if I had it, I said I do, but I can't tell you. And I thought when they released it, because everything was TBA on the one they gave me. I thought, well, okay, yeah,
They're deciding.
Right, but remember I said they released it probably on the 17th or 18th. Well, they released it on the 18th, and this is back 3 months ago. I said it was going to be the 17th or 18th, so it's not like a recent thing that I knew. So, when I got it, I don't know, in the middle of last week, whatever it was, it's all TBA, and I thought, okay, well, when they release it, it'll have the times.
Logical.
What are we doing?
We have 2 total game times for Penn State men's basketball, Steve. The exhibition against Dayton and the game in West Haven, Connecticut. That's it. That's all we got.
That's New Haven's home game.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's televised. It's
No,
a 1 o'clock
but
game.
that's all we've got.
Yeah.
Two games out of how many games, Steve?
And I'm not doing the New Haven game.
No, because it's the same day as the Penn State football game. So how many games is that, Steve, we're missing game times for? We have 2 games worth?
Well, those 2.
One's an exhibition.
Exhibition, that doesn't count.
So how many games that we're missing then?
So 30.
30. Cool.
What are we doing?
Got it.
Hey, this isn't. All right, so let's do this in 2 parts. The Big Ten has got to do a better job in football and in men's basketball of being organized enough to tell you what the times are. It's one thing to put out a schedule and says, these are your home and aways, here's your home and here's your away.
Here's the dates.
Okay. No, I'm just saying the basic. They do that. And for football, we know what the opponents are through 2028. Where they're going to be. Like Penn State's back at USC in 2028. They're at Washington next year, that Oregon at 27. All right. So we know that. We just don't know the sequencing of games. The NFL has shown everybody how to do it. Now, we may make fun of it. The part I make fun of is that everybody goes, okay, who are we playing? Okay, you already know you're playing. You know that the day after the season ends.
You find out.
Everybody knows the day after you're playing. But now, in May, they do this. Season starts in September. They tell you kickoff times and so forth.
The only week we don't know is the last week, which is more than fair. Easy.
Well, I have no problem with that. And also you can flex games in the last month to 5 weeks of the season.
But their point is they give us the entire schedule and they say, here's everything. Because
why can't the Big Ten with Fox, CBS, NBC, and then eventually, obviously going last, the Big Ten Network. I mean, okay, you can't tell me in May and do a full schedule release and do it on BTN. Right, you don't think you're going to have people watching BTN that night to see the schedule release as the kickoff times of your games with the caveat that we have the ability to flex games in November. Example, Indiana last year. Does anybody expect Indiana to be undefeated going into the Ohio State game? No, nobody does. So, in all likelihood, that might be a BTN game.
Yeah.
Right? A BTN game. Could be maybe CBS takes it at 3:30. Instead, Fox, with the number one pick that week, wants to flex the game to noon and make it its national game. I have no problem with that.
It's more than fair.
Right? Because I already knew all the kickoffs of the other one, and look, this makes sense. They want to flex it. Fine. Basketball. Okay? We are sitting here now on the 19th of September. So you got 45 days before the opener. 45 days. Penn State opens November 3rd, a Monday night, with Fairfield. You can't tell me any of the tip-off times and what networks these are on?
It's ridiculous.
45 days. Like, over here, what about people who buy tickets? You've got to stop backslapping with the back of your hand the ticket holder. You've got to stop. And don't put it, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to take the release that you send out at the end of the year, right? That says Big Ten number one in attendance. They do it every year. Number one in overall attendance for your Big Ten men's basketball, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to rip it up in the air because you don't care about the fans being there.
Nope.
You don't care.
If I'm a fan and I'm going...
If you cared, you give them tip-off times yesterday. So that they know 45 days from the start of the season, here we go. And by the way, Penn State, its Big Ten opener is December 9th at Indiana. They've got a Saturday home game with Michigan State. Wouldn't it be nice, I don't know, in the middle of the holidays, like out of nowhere, we're tipping off at this time, like knowing ahead of time, so you can plan your life, right? You should be able, why can the NHL put out a schedule? They've got 32 teams.
All of pro sports put them out.
They're going to be playing 84 games. They can do it. Every once in a while, they're allowed to flex a game. That's fine. I got it. NBA, 82 teams, 30 teams, 82 games. But they got a schedule.
Baseball puts out a 162 game schedule. Right. 162 games.
And put it out.
Entire thing out at once. And I'm sitting here. Let's say I'm a fan. I really want to go to the Palestra game, for instance, against Illinois this year. Penn State, Illinois, in Philly. It's going to be great. What time is it? Is it going to be a noon game? Is it going to be at 3 o'clock? Could it be at nighttime? Like, when's the game going to be? Because if I'm going to drive to Philly from Penn State or fly in from Illinois to go watch this game, when do I have to leave? Do I have to catch a flight later that night, the next morning, drive out a different time? Like, what is the plan here? And there's just none. Fans are left in the dust wondering, where do I go? When do I get there? And people who work it, as you do, you also don't know what time you have to work. You're currently sitting here, you're like, well, I don't know what time I'm going to have to be at the stadium. If you're Dick Girardi, you're driving over here, like, I don't know when I got to be at a game. I have no idea.
And here's another part. There may be some games because of plane availabilities where Dick and I have to go commercial this year. Okay? Hey, if that's what it takes to do it, that part doesn't bother me. But if I don't know the tip-off time, what if there is What if Daniels has not been spotted at practice today? Oh, my goodness. He's missing Adam Schefter, who also wasn't at Washington Commanders practice either. I'd like to point out. But, I mean, say, for example, the game, I know the game at Michigan's on a Tuesday, so this isn't going to happen, but I'll use that as a scenario.
January 6th, Tuesday, versus Michigan here.
But let's say it is... Oh, that's here. Well, whenever the game happens, they got to play.
February 5th, Feb 5.
What?
Feb 5 on a Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. Say, for example, that we're February 7th on a Saturday, and say they want to tell me it's noon, and turns out that that's one of the games that Dick and I have to go to commercial. Well, I could set it up now where I've got a commercial flight from Detroit that night coming back.
Yeah.
But I can't do that right now.
Nope.
Okay. And the fans don't know what time the game's going to be. Now, I'm using that as an example. It's a Saturday game. All right. But you can't. I don't understand. I've said this many times. People get a kick out of it when I say it. But look, degree of difficulty. Okay. Scale. Here's 10. Here's 0. Okay. 10, degree of difficulty, Manhattan Project.
Mm-hmm.
Atomic bomb, Oppenheimer, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Scheduling a basketball season, slightly below 1.
You know what?
And they act as if it is, and they act, the TV networks and the conference act as if it's the Manhattan Project. They act as if it's the I mean, I can tell you exactly what they've done with the Penn State basketball schedule. Look at what they did. Okay? What week, the perfect week to tell you, what week did Penn State go to USC, UCLA? They went out Super Bowl weekend, like February.
Beginning of February, 7th, 8th, something like 11th.
Like 8th through the 12th or something like that. Well, all they did was substitute Washington, Oregon, February 11th and 14th. It's the same time. They just changed up. Okay, your West Coast trip was this time last year. It's this year. They're, oh, well, golly gee willikers. Right? Which, by the way, I think I could have predicted back in April. Why? Because I think it's the smartest and easiest thing to do. It's the smartest and easiest thing to do. So I give you credit for doing the smartest and easiest thing. But I could have told you back in April there was a good chance that Oregon and Washington would have been that weekend because the West Coast trip last year for Penn State was, voila, that weekend.
Yep.
Okay. That's fine. Right? That's...
Makes sense.
Right?
Easy.
I'm just saying. Credit to you for doing what I thought was the logical thing. But you can't keep holding fans in the dark. They do it in football. I mean, what time's the Northwestern game kicking off?
Great question.
Right?
Could be noon. Could be 3:30. Could be 4 o'clock. I don't know.
Massively unfair. And then they're doing this thing. They did this to Rutgers last year, played at USC, and I think it was a Friday night game. It was 11 o'clock at night, like Eastern time. You're like, really? Well, Michigan State's got to do that.
Yep.
On a Saturday night, 11 o'clock at night. What the heck? I don't... Like,
none of this makes sense, Steve.
I don't get it. I mean, I realize you're trying to fill time slots. I got it. I got that part. But 11 o'clock at night Eastern time? I'm not talking about body clock here. I'm not talking body clock because out there it's 8 o'clock. I got it. I have no issue
but
with
11 o'clock
that
for
part.
Michigan's.
But Michigan State is in the Eastern time zone. By the time you get to halftime, it's 12:30 in the morning. Who the heck in the Eastern time zone is staying awake or can still stay awake to watch the second half? And that's
nobody.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things about this I don't get. And they make it so complicated, and it's wrong. Right? I know you've got to schedule 18 schools. I got it. 18 is more difficult to schedule than 12. 18 is more difficult to schedule than 14. I understand that. But
it's not.
no offense. This comes under the category of you've got one job. You've got one job. A job. You're telling me from the end of last season till now, the only thing you can come up with are dates? The season ended March 15th in Indianapolis. I'm talking Big Ten tournament. So from March 16th until yesterday, this is the best you can do? Is just give you the order of the games? You can't tell me what network we're on? You weren't having discussions with them? Like, hey, let's sit down and let's talk this out. Nothing has changed.
Nope.
With teams, potential placements, or anything like that since July 1. The same Indiana squad, roster-wise, is exactly the same. Penn State has the exact same squad they announced on July 1. They just had two guys come in later, but they were already on the roster to begin with, put out online. In fact, the only one that didn't put one out on, the only two that didn't put one out online, their roster were Michigan State and Oregon. Right? They're always late doing it for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Michigan State has essentially the same guys.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Right. But you've got one job. You can't do that. And again, You do a grant for football, do it like the NFL. Week by week by week, here we go. This is what we got. And everybody knows. And we're allowed to flex games in November so we can get maximum viewership for the biggest games. I would accept that in a heartbeat because I think that's only fair to the rights holders who are paying all this money. It's only fair to the Big Ten to put out a presentation of their best games that get the most viewers, whatever it happens to be.
Here's our tentative schedule. Here it is.
Right.
Generally, this is what you can expect. November, it could change up a little bit, but this is what we're kind of looking at.
September, October should be all set. November, you should have the basic. Okay, we've got you kicking off at 3:30 on BTN. That may shift to CBS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it may go to Fox at noon, only because
Big noon.
Yeah. But you mentioned that starting November 1, we will have the ability to flex some games. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
you don't know how an Indiana season plays out like it did last year. An Indiana-Ohio State game this time 1 year ago today was just another easy day on the schedule for Ohio State. Now you get to November 1st, like looking around, holy mackerel, Indiana's undefeated. Whoa, man, that is now a national game. Right? That's not just right? So I get that part. Totally understand it. But they should do a big blowout schedule release. So, and you don't think Big Ten fans are going to be sitting all over the country going, okay, they're going to play Northwestern. The kickoff time is going to be X, right? Okay, now they're going to play at Iowa. Well, the kickoff time of that's going to be Y. Okay, well, okay, I'm not surprised. Ohio State, Penn State is going to be Z. We expected it to be Z. You know? And just do that. Right? For football. For basketball, you've been sitting since March 16th. Everybody knew who you're going to be playing the next year.
Yep. You're right.
Right. And you sat there, and this is the best you can do?
Let's go over the Big Ten schedule of Penn State. Let's go over this now. Let's rattle through this.
These are all dates, and there really is not a lot here. I'm going to look at.
No,
it. Well, that's a problem. I think it's fine.
We'll go through it all so people understand what's going on.
I just want the fans need the time.
Yes,
and the networks want
yeah. And there's sometimes we can guess. So the first game for Penn State in the Big Ten, as you mentioned, at Indiana, Tuesday, December 9th, at Simon Schott Arena, Assembly Hall. We can kind of guess it's going to be a night game. Guess
any weeknight game is going to be a night game.
But why not give us the night game times? Easy. It's an easy one to hit a home run with.
No.
Penn State then, the Saturday, gets Michigan State.
Yep.
The next Big Ten game is the Palestra against Illinois. That's January 3rd on the Saturday. Michigan is home on the Tuesday here in the BJC.
Yep.
And then they're on the road to Purdue, home to UCLA, on the road to Maryland, home to Wisconsin.
That game in Maryland, by the way, is a Sunday game.
And it's a Sunday game in Xfinity Center. Then they are on the road Monday, January 26th, and Thursday the 29th, to Ohio State and to Northwestern, home for Minnesota, on the road to Michigan on the Thursday, home to USC on Sunday the 8th, and then their West Coast road trip to Washington and Oregon on the 11th and 14th of February.
Washington first, and then they'll go from Seattle down to Eugene.
And then on the 18th, they're back home against Rutgers, and they fly out the next weekend to Nebraska. And then they are home to Iowa, home to Ohio State for the senior day, and then on the road to Rutgers to wrap up the season before the Big Ten tournament kicks off on March 10th, which, if we can get to that next, before we get to women's basketball, the Big Ten tournament is officially going to expand, I believe, to all 18 teams are going to be in the Big Ten tournament. That was discussed and talked about yesterday, all over there, being like the Big Ten's expanding officially to all 18 teams making it. So now there's no penalty for those last three teams that do not make their way to the tournament. They're all going to get in now. All the Big Ten. Steve Jones, sir, your thoughts on the fact that these teams will now all get in and there's no penalty?
Look, what did I say the day it came out that it was going to be 15 last year?
I
said it was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The day it came out.
Yeah.
Look, so full disclosure, the day it came out, I thought, based on what Penn State had coming back, Penn State had a shot at being in the NCAA tournament. So being in the bottom three never once entered my mind. Never. So when I made that statement about that, it had nothing to do with Penn State. I just didn't think three teams should be left out. Now, in the end, we saw the season played out. It did not play out the way I expected. Did not. Okay? I mean, bad on me. Right? And I felt like I was giving everybody good info in the offseason.
You were? Couldn't have expected injuries to Ace Baldwin, Puff Johnson, to the extent they were.
Right. But there are a bunch of things, whatever, a lot of factors. You know, and a lot of close losses, 3-point game, 5-point game, have a lead with 2 minutes, whatever. We all know. It's a water drip on my forehead as I explain it. But the day it came out, with the idea that I thought Penn State was a postseason team, and I thought was an NCAA tournament team. I thought Penn State was going to finish like 7th or 8th in the conference. I really did. I said it was wrong. I said it's wrong for those programs. It's wrong for those coaches. Wrong. Okay? To their credit, they figured out a way to do 18.
They did.
And, so they're going to do that. Now, the women are going to stay at 15.
The women are staying at 15. The men are expanding to 18.
Yeah.
Jumping over to women's basketball now. Quickly, the men's tournament, it starts on the Tuesday now.
This is, I've said this how many times over the years. I will be critical of the Big Ten at times. But remember, all the times I have praised the Big Ten for something they have done. That is called fairness. I don't think it's fair for me to criticize without praising.
Yeah.
Look, they made a mistake. In 1 year, they corrected the mistake.
They did.
Bravo to them, and for figuring out a format for doing. It's going to be at the United Center in Chicago.
At the United Center.
So, we're going to the Chop House.
Yeah. On March 10th, game 1 is 16 versus 17. 15 plays 18. The winner of the 16-17 plays seed 9. The second game winner plays seed 10, and then so on and so forth down the line.
Which is what I said it should have been last year. It doesn't matter. It worked out.
And then it goes from there. For the women's side of things, for their Big Ten schedule released yesterday, their first game is at home December 6th to Nebraska. And then their next game, they head away to the Carver Hawkeye Arena on December 28th. Then they wrap up on New Year's Eve at home to UCLA. They're on the road to Wisconsin, home to Michigan and Illinois, on the road to Ohio State, home for Rutgers, on the road to Washington, Oregon in the middle of January, the 21st and 24th. That's when they have their West Coast trip. Then they get Minnesota home, Purdue on the road, Michigan State home, Maryland on the road, Northwestern home, Rutgers on the road. Their wrap-up game here in the BJC will be against Juju Watkins and USC. Will Watkins be healthy? We'll find out. She's still recovering from her torn ACL. It is the end of the season. She should be back
by then.
So that'll be Juju Watkins here in the Bryce Jordan Center.
I mean, think about that. Within the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. In the last 4 years, Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins will have played in the Jordan Center.
Not bad. And then their last game is on the road to Indiana before the Big Ten tournament for the women is Wednesday, March 4th through the 8th. So that is the Big Ten schedules for both men's and women's, the Big Ten tournament changes we've discussed now. Basketball's almost here. It's 45 days away, as you mentioned. Yeah. Hockey's here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's sports season, Steve. Sports are happening.
Well, in fact, I know that Clarkson is here for homecoming. When Penn State's going to play Northwestern in football. I know Jack Ham and I have talked about, hey, we ought to go to the Clarkson game because look, let's face it, we get to see 1 year Liam McKenna
or Gavin McKenna,
Gavin McKenna. I'm going.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to go see him play.
If you see,
I mean, because contrary to what some people think, I grew up in New England. I was loving hockey before a lot of you were born.
Yeah. If you see a man there named Hack Jam and Jeeves Stones, just let them be.
Yeah, just let us in the back door like you always do.
Yeah, let them in the back door, please. So that is the Big Ten side of things going on. Along with that going on around the nation, I guess we'll get to last night's NFL action. The Bills versus the Dolphins. They played last night. It was a game. It was a lot closer than I think people thought it would be. Bills won 31-21 over the Dolphins.
Let's give Miami a lot of credit. I thought Mike McDaniel had an excellent plan, and then you watched his players execute the plan. The only mistake the Dolphins made last night was the big turnover extremely late in the game.
By
Very
Tua.
late. And they ran the ball, and they ran the ball well. Ollie Gordon is a good, the former Oklahoma State running back. And
It's going to be interesting.
No, I thought they played well. Buffalo did what Buffalo does, but he got Waddle involved. They converted a lot of third downs in the game. I watched the game last night. Converted a lot of third downs. Waddle was important there. Hill was important there. He used his running backs in the pass game. Tunga Viola did not throw for a lot of yardage in the game last night, but he was efficient. And then made the one mistake at the end where the linebacker picked it off and essentially sealed the game. The other key part is that the Dolphins were called for a roughing the punter, and it was an all-out effort play by the defensive tackle. He just dove and it is the definition of roughing the punter. It wasn't a deliberate thing.
Yeah,
he
it was just
And all of a sudden Cam Johnson's his legs are flipped out from underneath him, and he's falling over him. You can't call that running into. That's going to be roughing. And I mean that was critical because it kept a Buffalo drive alive. I mean, the Bills are the Bills, and Josh Allen is Josh Allen. And the difference is that Miami is an 0-3 team with a softer schedule coming up. They've got some underbelly here coming up where they can potentially make up some ground if they don't panic. Right? The Dolphins played last night with a lot of enthusiasm, and one of the worst things organizations do is they see something like this and they panic. Okay? And I have no idea whether Deshaun Foster can coach or not, but did UCLA panic? I mean, he's coached one season plus 3 games, gone. Okay. And if the Dolphins don't panic, I mean, Mike McDaniel is not the Dan Reeves of the sideline. He's not in a jacket and tie.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, okay, Mike. Shave maybe, I don't know. And I like Mike. I mean, I've met Mike, talked to Mike, and I personally, he's a riot. Mike is not a guy that's stoic and staid. When you talk to him, he's got a great sense of humor. If they don't panic, I think they're going to be okay. Not great, but they're going to be okay. Because they were smart. They ran the ball. Okay. And they mixed it in, and they ate up some time, and they converted some third downs. Now, is Buffalo the more talented team? Yeah. Do they have one of the premier players in the game at quarterback? Yeah. Okay. But that doesn't mean that Miami didn't play a good game. They did. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And and by the way, I think the Prime Video. I think what has been interesting to watch is the evolution of Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit on the air. You can tell they're exponentially more comfortable with each other. They kid around more. And I felt Kirk for the first couple of years was very matter of fact about what he was doing. And then you hear him on Saturday night and there's more juice. Now he's doing Thursday night games the same way he does a Saturday game.
Yeah.
Right? And which is more his personality. And I think that's made a big difference. I think the presentation on Prime is outstanding. I think the presentation of I'll watch their halftime deal. Their halftime is, they do a great job with it. I'm not surprised. Ryan Fitzpatrick's always been smart. Whitworth is smart. Tony Gonzalez. I interviewed Richard Sherman once and thought he was really smart. And Carissa, I know from her days with BTN. And she does a fabulous job. So their presentation, I don't know Kaylee Hartung at all, but she seems to do a nice job in the sideline. I think their presentation on Prime is excellent.
Yeah.
It really is.
It has. Now making our way on over to the college football side of things.
Yeah.
From the pros to the college, the ACC is set to announce in the near future a change to its scheduling format that will require all league teams to play at least 10 games against Power 4 competition. Though the number of intra-conference games played, 8 or 9, remains a sticking point according to multiple sources. So either it's an 8+2 or a 9+1 game. They are unsure of exactly what that will look like.
ACC?
ACC.
Yeah. Well, look, if the SEC is going to 9, that means they're the lone wolf.
And the ACC needs all the help it can get here because it's what it is. So
look, some of them already have it built in terms of like 9+1.
Yeah.
Clemson has it built in already. They play South Carolina. They're also going to have now with Notre Dame. Right? They're going to have Notre Dame, and some of those, those are all the Notre Dame games are non-conference games. But then they play South Carolina every year. Florida State plays Florida every year. Georgia Tech plays Georgia every year. Louisville plays Kentucky every year. So you already have
one built in.
One built in for 4 of the schools. Now, others have to find other ways of doing it. We know that Syracuse, for example, is going to be on Penn State's schedule, so they're taken care of. But yeah.
Question of what it looked like going forward. Also in college football, some players and probabilities. Looks like Ole Miss quarterback Austin Simmons is going to be out versus Tulane this coming week. But Lenora Sellers looks like he'll be back for the game against Missouri.
Yeah, that's big. They need that to have him in the lineup. That's going to be a good game.
Before we get there, it also looks like for Illinois, other players, you've got Xavier Scott. It looks like he will be out against Indiana.
That's big because in the secondary, I've always thought he was a heck of a player back there. I've been impressed by him in person and also watching video.
Yeah. And then Antonio Williams is back for Clemson as they take on Syracuse this week. They need a rebound win.
BB, the running back, is out for the year.
Yes. Okay. So going into the college football games this weekend, we already discussed it earlier in the week, but why not go over it again? We're now here on Friday, and you get to watch some college football games this week, Steve Jones. You get to sit at home, you get to relax, watch some games, enjoy yourself. So the college football slate that you will get to watch this weekend, sir. We'll get to the Big Ten extra stuff of it in a minute. The noon games. There's only one game of top 25.
Yeah, but tonight, I'm watching a game tonight. I'm watching Iowa-Rutgers tonight.
Yes.
Rutgers comes in undefeated. They're 3-0. Iowa, we know, is 2-1. I think Iowa is getting Moulton, their running back tonight. Now, they've still got Jazzy and Patterson. They've got other people that have been playing there that are good running backs. But he was expected to be the starter going in. He got hurt early. Their tight end, though, is out for the year. Achilles against Iowa State and will not be able to play in the game. A lot of this is going to come down to which team can run the ball more effectively to help out the quarterback. Cal McManus may need less help at quarterback than Gronowski does. I mean, Gronowski still doesn't have a 200-yard passing game. Now, he wasn't going to get it against UMass. He wasn't going to be out there the whole day. So, I mean, that part I got. But the other, like the Iowa State game, no offense, he played all 4 quarters, right, and didn't crack 100 yards.
Nope.
Hey, and they've got to get something out of that.
He's a good quarterback. Like, you would expect him to play well.
He had back-to-back 3,000-yard passing years at South Dakota State. I mean, and I will watch the FCS playoffs because during it, like you get to like a weekend and like I'm sitting there, like, I'll watch some of those games. So I watched him play a few times. I was always like, yeah, the guys can play. He's pretty good, right? Well, then Iowa got him. I go, well, okay, that'll be interesting. The guy's pretty good. So far, it hasn't worked. I don't know why it hasn't worked, but it hasn't. So that's the game I'm going to watch tonight. Because Rutgers is off to a 3-0 start. They feel pretty confident about themselves. They know that this is the biggest test they've had so far. And Iowa needs to show that the Iowa State thing is in the rearview mirror from 2 weeks ago.
The game's coming up at noon tomorrow. By the way, Iowa's favored by 1.5 points, so it's pretty much a pick 'em. It's basically who do you think is going to win this game? It's about even. So Iowa Rutgers. Who do you think is going to win this game tonight?
Iowa will win the game.
Iowa will win the game tonight.
I think it's going to be very, very close. I think the first one to get to 20 tonight wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
First one to 20 tonight wins the game.
Looks like the odd makers are kind of on the same ballpark. They're saying first to 23 will win the game.
Okay.
And then noon tomorrow, game in the Big Ten, Maryland versus Wisconsin at Camp Randall. That is on NBC Peacock tomorrow. Wisconsin favored by 9.5. The first one, again, to 23 is expected to win that game.
Okay. All right. I mean, again, they're going with their backup quarterback at Wisconsin. Billy Edwards is out.
Yeah. And then the top 25 matchup at noon on Fox, Texas Tech versus Utah. That is in Salt Lake, 17 versus 16.
First of all, I saw Utah play UCLA, so let's take the UCLA part of it out of it. They looked really sharp in the opener. Their quarterback I like. I mean, it's one thing Kyle Whittingham plays a Big Ten style. He wants big, powerful offensive linemen up front. Now, Texas Tech, I mean, double eagle, baby. Yeah, the double eagle twins out there, the two billionaires, have this roster stocked. They worked very hard up until June 30th to give them the best shot at being a winning football program. We're going to find out now under Joey McGuire whether it pays off.
Yeah.
And I think Texas Tech may win the game.
Well, we will find out. By the way, Utah is, if I'm not mistaken, 7th in the nation in rushing yards per game, which is 290 rushing yards a game. That's an incredible amount.
Right. Well, it is, because then you look at the other half. Like Colorado's got a game this weekend. Colorado has to find a different way to win. They're trying to. Colorado was last in all of FBS last year in rushing. Last. So now, with Shedeur Sanders moving on to the Browns, with Travis Hunter moving on to the Jags, plus the other receivers were drafted, and they made rosters.
Jimmy Horn Jr.
They made rosters. Okay, I mean, they had some good receivers to go with Hunter.
Yeah.
They were dead last in the FBS in rushing because they didn't worry about rushing the ball. Well, now they have a different type of team. They need to be concerned about running the football. And right now, it's not paying off. They are 15th out of 16 in the Big 12 in rushing right now.
Yeah, they're averaging about 124 yards on the ground a game.
Yep.
Another matchup for a top 25 team. UAB is down to Knoxville to take on Tennessee and Joey Aguilar and co. Tennessee's favored by 38.5 points in that game. Logical. Then 3 o'clock, Big Ten, Oregon State versus Oregon. We've discussed that already. Oregon State coming in 0-3 on the season. Former Duke quarterback, I believe, Malik Murphy is their quarterback.
Yes, he is.
For the Beavers.
I think I've already gone through this with
a few times.
But about very quickly, cliff notes on it. Jonathan Smith was the head coach. Oregon State guy. Oregon State grad, through and through. Getting the job as the head coach meant
the world
so much to him. And did a heck of a job.
They were good.
Oregon State was a really good football team when he was the head coach. But then everything got flushed with the Pac-12. When it got flushed, he took the Michigan State job. That tells you everything about when one of your people, where it is in his blood that he is an Oregon State guy through and through, and looks around and says, I can't do this. And goes to Michigan State because he thinks he has a better shot at winning. And that tells you where they are as a program right now.
Coming up at 3:30, another top 25 team, Florida State, lays host to Kent State. That game, 3:30, Florida State favored by 44.5 points.
Last year, that game would have been close. This year,
it would have been. Then top 25 matchup, Auburn versus Oklahoma. That's at 3:30 in Norman.
That is a big game for both teams. It may be a tone setter for the winner moving forward. It's a conference game. They're both off to really good starts. And this could be one of those that the team that walks out of there is going to walk out with exponentially more confidence that they're on the right path. So that's going to be a game.
Also,
big game.
Jackson Arnold was kind of booted out unceremoniously from Oklahoma, if I remember right, and now he gets the return back to Norman.
Yeah, Yeah, but
going to have some emotion there.
But no offense, he's not John Mateer.
No, he's not.
Mateer is a better quarterback. They upgraded the quarterback, with all due respect to Jackson Arnold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3:30, same time, Tulane versus Ole Miss. As you mentioned, Ole Miss without Austin Simmons, their quarterback, taking on Jake Retzloff in a 3-0 Tulane Green Wave. Would not surprise me if Tulane wins this game. Mississippi is currently favored by 12.5 points. Tulane's a good team. Green Wave are good. And if they don't have their quarterback, it's something.
I mean, Retzlaff will give them a puncher's chance. How about that? I did not think that Ole Miss played well against Arkansas. Arkansas made the big mistake when they were driving. They fumbled the ball. And that's what ended the hope Arkansas. But Arkansas is good. I mean, I'm just saying, Retzlaff gives Tulane a puncher's chance.
That game is saying the first 1 to 31 will win that game. It is meant to be 91 degrees down in Oxford. 3:30, back to the Big Ten, CBS Paramount, Michigan versus Nebraska in Lincoln. As you said yesterday, the matchup of the two highest recruited quarterbacks. Why are you laughing, Steve? What's so funny? What's funny?
I swear we make stuff up just to make it a bigger deal than it is.
Well, without the headlines, thoughts on the game: Michigan top 21st ranked in the nation, Nebraska looking to get better and improve.
Underwood has to play better in a setting like this compared to what he did at Oklahoma, because they can't just be a running football team and play defense. They can't. They've already proven that, and he's the upgrade there. Here's the problem I have with Michigan. It's not Underwood. I am not big at all on their wide receivers. Samaj Morgan doesn't light me up. Right? The kid that transferred from Indiana, Donovan McCulley, who started his career at Indiana as a quarterback, and they made him a wide receiver. He's like their big hope. I'm like, no. He doesn't have great receivers to throw to. Raiola, I think Dana Holgerson has been very smart with how he has gone about this. He has a very high completion percentage because they're doing a lot of passing plays that are under 8 yards. Dink, dunk, right? And they've been good with it. At some point, you're going to have to hit something, and I don't mean a 50-yarder.
20, 30.
You're going to have to hit something in that 15 to 30-yard range. Right? And they're going to have to do that and be accurate with it. And I think that's – in the games at Nebraska, Sharon Moore won't coach it because he chose not to coach it.
That game, Michigan's favored by 1.5 points. So, again, toss-up. First one to 24 is the expectation.
You get to pick your own suspension?
Crazy.
What are we doing here?
I don't know, Steve.
Right?
I do not know.
I realize it's one of the greatest things ever, suspended with pay.
Yes.
I mean,
pretty good.
Right? Okay. We're going to pay you not to work.
Not bad.
Okay. I mean, let's look at the team picture of the photo of people here. I'll do it. That morning show guy. Yep, I'm out.
That one's expected first 24. Who do you think takes that one home?
Nebraska
takes that one home. Also at 3:30 going on in Indiana at Notre Dame. Purdue versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame needs their first win on the season.
They'll get it.
Purdue's in flux. Let's put it that way.
They're in flux. I think Odom's a good coach, though. I think that was a good hire, but they are not anywhere close yet.
Notre Dame is favored by 25.5 points in that game.
Yep.
Going on at 4:30.
And they'll be able to run the ball.
Oh, yeah. Going on at 4:30, Temple at Georgia Tech. Another game for Haynes King & Co. They're favored by 23.5 points down in Atlanta.
Yep.
7 o'clock kickoffs for the top 25. The big game, Bo Pribula versus Lenora Sellers. South Carolina at Missouri. That one is at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Missouri favored by 9.5 points.
You wonder why Eli Drinkwitz in the offseason was the only SEC coach to say he wanted automatic qualifiers. Because, of course, they had to make the decision by December 1 moving forward. What do? Do you want 12? Do you want 16? If you want 16, do you want automatic qualifiers? Do you want to do 5 plus 11? All these decisions have to be made, or keep it at 12. He wanted automatic qualifiers because his point is quite simple. He says, I'm not a blue blood. I'm not a blue blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't start the season in the top 25. In fact, I believe Missouri was picked 12th.
They were.
In the SEC. And that's his point. He says, I want to be in a position where I don't have to fight my way up to get into the top 12 or 16, whatever the number happens.
I just want to fight my way up in the conference and
Right.
get myself where I need to.
Right. And that's why he voted for it. He says, because why is Notre Dame at 0-2, albeit against two very good teams, Miami and Texas A&M? Why are they ranked?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because, number one, they're Notre Dame.
Yep.
Right? And they played a good schedule. Have they won against the schedule?
No.
No. Now, that doesn't mean in 3 weeks
They can't be there.
say they're 3-2. Now, okay, but Eli Drinkowitz at 0-2 is not even on the radar,
No.
playing the same two teams at Missouri. He's not on the radar. Okay? South Carolina at 0-2 is not on the radar.
Mm-mm.
Right? They're not ranked.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on Notre Dame, but I'm not. But
It's just they're 0-2
they're
and they're ranked.
0-2, and I'm saying if these two programs, which are both very good programs, if they're 0-2, they are not even on the radar, and they're weeks away from getting on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks
Yep.
away.
These
Because
two teams.
That's why that game is big for both teams. One of them's going to walk out of that game, and they'll be like, "Hey, here we go."
Yes. It is a big game, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Going on another big game, Florida versus Miami. That's down in Hard Rock.
Okay. Florida needs this game
They do.
badly. Lagwell played better compared to 2 weeks ago. Miami is shown to be an explosive team so far.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like, you look at Carson Beck, he's got the freshman receiver is fabulous. I think he's a really good player. I like him a lot. Mullins is his name, whatever his name is. Right? But for Florida, this is, if they want to have any semblance of a season, they've got to win this game.
Yeah. They need to win. Miami's favored by 8.5 points down there. They're saying the first one, 26, will win that game.
Okay.
7:30, Georgia State versus Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia and co. favored by 28.5 points there. Okay. In Big Ten, the big one.
I believe that if he gets a seventh year, I believe he's then going to be on the Vanderbilt pension plan.
Probably. I think he's as old as I am. The 7:30 game, Big Ten, Illinois, Indiana, 9 versus 19 in Bloomington.
I'm going to guess that in the history of this series, that there's never been greater importance on this matchup than this year.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean over the years like there hasn't been a terrific Illinois team on one
course.
side, but Indiana wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or that Indiana was a terrific team on one side, but Illinois wasn't good enough. The fact that they are both perceived at the same time as being good
Is the thing.
may never have happened in this series.
Mm-hmm.
BB's out.
Yes.
So their running back that is so important to what they want to do is out. But Mendoza has turned out to be, he is Curtis Rourke this year.
And they have a real good receiving core.
The receiving core is very good at Indiana.
Surratt, Cooper.
Yeah, challenging. Cooper's actually goes back to Tom Allen recruited him.
Yeah. 13 receptions, 299 yards, 4 touchdowns for him. Pretty good return on
Now,
investment.
some of these are inflated by the Indiana State game. I understand that. Illinois, though, is the better team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the better all-around team. Brett Bielema, whom I feel has matured as a coach. I go back to his Wisconsin days, and it was always, because this is back in those days, they did the Big Ten conference calls. So I would listen to his conference calls, like every coach every week, trying to pick up whatever nuggets I could to do what I had to do, because we did a Big Ten report every week. And it was always about, well, we tell them to do this, we told them to do that. Well, we kept telling them, and they didn't do it. Now he's more mature about how he approaches that in public. He's not like all about like the coaches and about me.
Mm-hmm.
He's now more about, and I think he's been able to recruit a team that is more in his image. Tough, hard-nosed defensive team, really good in the trenches on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a quarterback who, after having 2 years ago a disaster at home against Penn State where they picked off 5 passes in Champaign. You're like, well, hey. Last year, you could see he had no picks coming into the game. Then in the game against Penn State,
A.J. Harris.
Yeah, A.J. Harris got him. But Penn State completely bottled them up last year.
Mm-hmm.
They, except for the one, I think it was the opening drive.
Mm-hmm.
They did nothing the rest of the night. Since that point, though, Altmaier has played really well, and they have a good running game because of that big physical offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is a game, I'm looking forward to watching it. I think Illinois is the better team because I think they're better all around than Indiana is.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the odds, IU is favored. They're both IU.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Indiana is favored by 6.5 points in this game. It's the first one to 27 there. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Sam Houston versus Texas. Arch Manning needs to play well. Sam Houston, they're favored to beat them by 40 points.
It's only one guy.
Yeah.
And not only that, I don't think he's with us any longer.
No. Southeast Louisiana against LSU.
I've been to the Alamo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Southeast Louisiana versus LSU, 7:45. Yeah. LSU should win that one. In the Big Ten, 7:30, Washington versus Washington State. That one is in Pullman.
It's the same story. It is the same story as Oregon State. I think Washington State's a little bit better than Oregon State, but it's the same story. Washington, by the way, Washington's become a good team.
Jonah Coleman's a really good running back.
But Jack and I talked about Jonah Coleman weeks before Penn State played Washington. That was one of the impressive things about that game that night in Beaver Stadium.
They bottled him up.
They bottled up Coleman, which was big because nobody had bottled him up to that point. And Williams, because of Williams' ability to run, he's made Coleman a better running back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Washington, they'll win the game by 4 touchdowns.
They're favored by 20.5 points there. And the last one to wrap up the night, the top 25 USC team, 25th in the nation, will take on Michigan State at home in the Memorial Coliseum. And USC is favored by 18.5 points in this game. Odds makers say first one to 28 points will win.
Yeah. Michigan State, in watching them against Boston College, did not play well defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden Childs kind of bailed them out in that game. And USC, what's interesting about USC is that when Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma, they consistently ran for 3,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, and we saw how the season played out for them, even though they averaged like 5.5 yards, like 5.4 yards a carry last year, they only gained 1,700 yards rushing last year. He got so pass heavy, and you could see in the Penn State game, it's like he didn't trust his running game. And I thought Woody Marks, who was
a great running back
last year, I thought Woody Marks was a pretty good player. Jack and I were like, boy, Woody Marks is pretty good. But it's like they didn't trust their running game. That'll be one of the keys in this. How much now does Lincoln Riley trust his running game, which makes life for his quarterback easier? Because at Oklahoma, even though he had Baker Mayfield, he had Kyler Murray, and then eventually Caleb Williams, he still ran the ball and felt confident enough to do it. At USC, it seems he has lost that confidence in running the ball. It seems like they're running the ball more and better this year, and he's going to need to do that against Michigan State.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.